You guys are awesome. As you can see, we're getting very excited, but first we want to check in on some other really excited people. We're going to go to Cologne, Germany, where we already are. We're going to check in on a BarCraft with Andy. Andy, can you hear me?
I can hear you in control. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Andy. Holy God, you guys are coming in through pixelated, but that's fine. Are you having a good time over there?
We're having a good time here. As you can see, I'm not Andy. I'm Red Eye, of course.
Ah, you're wearing a Red Eye mask. That is terrifying.
Bloody insulting. You are bloody. Okay, it's a mask.
Well,
okay.
Better a mask than to actually wear Red Eye, I do always say.
Can you say it again?
Oh, it's just a joke about murdering someone and wearing their skin. I shouldn't repeat it again. But, you know, you guys...
It's actually me, yeah.
You guys seem to be having a really good time. What's the top drink that you guys are indulging in?
Oh, God.
Beer?
Beer. You can see that?
Just a straight basic answer. I like it. That's really good. It's like what's your favorite food in Germany? I like the meat. Ah, all right. You guys will laugh about that later when the joke gets to you. Skype's lagging like crap right now.
But I'm hoping you get over here later.
What?
So you can try all our cocktails.
Okay.
The guys are telling me the cream is the best, so...
You invited me to come... Oh, okay. Yes. Once we finish up over here, I might come over there, yes. Or if not, you can always just wear a paper mask of my face, too. That'd be fine. Be very... All right. Thank you a lot, you guys over there. You guys are awesome. Again, this is BarCraft. In case you're not really familiar with that, do a Google search, but the quick breakdown of that is awesome people having drinks, celebrating StarCraft. Sounds like a pretty cool event to me. But let's go ahead and start to talk about this match. But wait, look, a deer. Holy cow. Yep. So, Grubby, how you doing?
Wow. How did you do that so fast?
I've been hosting for 2 days now, and I feel like I've hit Grandmaster.
Very nice.
So let's talk a little bit about the match. Of course, we have MMA versus MC. Both these guys have been making... it's actually been a bit silly in the background, like Apollo and I and you and everybody been walking around. We're kind of like, these guys are making this tournament look a little bit easy. Like MMA has actually 6-0'd all the way up until the grand final, and MC has plowed his way there as well. It hasn't actually been that close.
Yeah, that kind of rustles my jimmies, because we're not that bad here in Europe. We're not easy. But you're making us look easy.
Well, with the way they're playing, I think that's kind of the funny part about it is I feel like you could put a lot of other players in front of these guys, and with the way they're playing right now, I feel like they would still destroy people. They're playing, I mean, we've been watching MC, we've been watching MMA for a long, long time. Those splits against Vortex, Vortex played his heart out, but MMA made it, I don't want to say easy, because nobody looks at those splits and goes, oh, I can do that. That looks simple. No. It's weird to say because he didn't make it look easy. He made it look masterful. It looked like, wow, I appreciate you as a human being because you're amazing.
Yes, exactly. And maybe there's this one guy out there and he's got his glasses on and he's studying art and he's like, I can make splits like that. But then he can't also do larva injects at the same time and make all the right decisions and so on. So he's so much the whole package too, Vortex, but he got a bit outmatched there against MMA. Yeah,
so MMA, he's been absolutely on fire. We haven't seen his TVP just yet, but we also haven't seen MC's PVT. Like this is actually, it's funny to say this. When one Terran enters a tournament of 8 players, this is oftentimes what happens. We actually don't see this matchup that often, but MC, he's been playing very well as well. We know that, we've established that. I'm gonna put you online, as I've been trying to do all the time, but you guys are slippery snakes, you commentators and analysts. Who's gonna win it? Who's got the edge and why?
I'm not going to answer that question, but
someday.
I'll say this. In the last PVTs that MC has played, he's tried to macro game, lost it, and then won everything else with cheese. Against Thorzane, he lost 2 SCV Viking pools, where they were both on 3 base. Then he lost that series. Second series, tries again macro game, lost it. Then he did a 1 base 4 gate, 1 base 4 gate, basically. Against MMA last season, he opened up with 35 Blink Stalkers on 2 to 3 base.
That sounds like MC.
Nothing else. They fought. He blinked his heart out. Really good micro. Really got to commend him for it. But MMA walked over his army. And then in the next 3 games, MC cheesed, aggression, rush, whatever you call it, smart tactical attacks. But whatever he did, he attacked and he won. So when MC is on the offensive, he's like a battering ram. But when he's on the defensive, he's like an umbrella in a storm. So that's in PvT. Now, he could have improved this aspect, his macro. He's had a week. And when MC gets in this place where he's fighting for championship title, and suddenly the old MC remembers what it's like to be alive, to be winning like that, suddenly he's a very dangerous opponent, and it's not quite the same guy anymore. So fireworks will ensue, I'm sure. And I think we got to look out for that time where MC flips the switch, where he says, whatever I do, I'm going to do it really well, and I'm going to go kill you. But MMA, he's got to know that about MC too. These rushes, how is he going to defend them? He's had some good games against Protoss this season, and wow, I really can't imagine what the finals will be like.
It's quite literally a classic matchup. You talk about MC's aggression. And again, I find myself saying this once more. In the past, we talk about MMA's aggression. So is that what MMA is going to go to? Or is it what he has been doing in the TVZ matchup, which is just this stalwart defense, push the game later, and then out-multitask him? We'll have to see what that game plan is going to be, because both these guys have been absolute juggernauts in this tournament. They've been playing really well.
Totally.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the analysis. We're going to throw it over to the commentator team now of Apollo and Kalaris.
Thanks very much, guys. All right, the grand final is on the way. We have MC versus MMA, and what a story tale finish to this season.
I mean, these two players, everybody knows who they are. MC's the boss toss. MMA's the son of boxer. Everybody knows who the hell these are. They were 2011 legends, as MC described in his winner's interview. It's now 2013. 2012 was a bit for MMA, and now 2013, he's really put the hard work in and is back to a final. The first time after 18 months. 18 months away from a final is a very long time. And then on the other hand, it's the boss toss, who had some disappointing results at the start of this year, but is now finally in this final for the second time in a row, bear in mind. The World Championship Series Europe Premier League Season 2, he was there, and he's here once again.
And as you can see, there's no map vetoes here. It's best of 7 time.
That's right.
So these guys are going to go all the way and see if they can claim that Season 3 title. It's huge. MC being here twice in a row is massive. And then, as everybody's been saying, this man in the green is... He's
all
back.
right. So MMA hasn't won a tournament in 18 months. MC hasn't won one in 19. It's been a long time since both these players were on the complete top. But now's the chance. Look at MC's record against Terran. Somehow, someway, he does find his way through beating players. He's the highest earning StarCraft 2 player now. Of course, this is not updated after today. With over $400,000 earned. MMA comes into this as a large fan favorite like MC is. This is a rematch of the semifinals of Season 2, where MC, on his way to the finals, did defeat him 3 games to 1. But this time, I believe in MMA. I think he can do it this time around.
He certainly could do. And, you know, in that first series in Season 2, we saw crushing aggression from MC. But MMA is a player that can adapt, can easily assimilate that information and react to exactly what his opponent's doing. The grand final is on the way here, ladies and gentlemen. MC versus MMA, game number 1. Up to the top left-hand corner are Red Protoss, representing SK Gaming, as well as Korea. Ladies and gents, give it up for MC. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, our blue Terran representing Acer as well as Korea. Give it up for MMA.
If only you could hear that chanting, it would remind him of the days at BlizzCon in 2011. But as we get into this is the perfect time to go to Twitter. Make sure that you are telling everybody, I'm about to go tweet, you make sure that you tell everybody that the grand finals of the World Championship Series Europe Premier League is happening. The last time in 2013 we will say this. Of course, 2014 will come eventually, but for now, the last game that Europe has to offer, and let's hope it's a good one. I've tweeted it. Go out there, go retweet, go tweet your own. And make sure to hashtag that WCS as the grand finals, a best of 7 between 2 StarCraft, overall StarCraft 2 legends.
What a way to finish it off. MC versus MMA, and look what we see from MMA in game number 1. First barracks, normal, pretty standard in his base, but then the second barracks, slightly different.
This is going to be confusing, of course, for MC. So far, MMA's only dropped 1 map the entire of the season. That's remarkable. That's absolutely unbelievable to do that. Absolutely fantastic, solid play from MMA. And once again, he comes in here with a twist to his build. And this is going to be very difficult for MC to read into. Very, very difficult indeed. It looks just like a 1 barracks command center, a very popular build that Terran players use against Protoss. And to be honest, I don't think he knows this. I do not think he has any idea.
He's going to stick around, have a look, see if he can see a command center. Doesn't see an SCV going down there. The one Marine's going to try and shoo this probe away and keep his opponent in the dark. And that probe, he's not going over to the 3rd. Why would he be going over to the 3rd? It's a weird location. So we'll not see that second barracks just yet.
MC's probe, though, it is going in weird places. There may be a small incline that this could be happening. There actually is a way. It's not impossible for him not to know. There was 1 SCV missing. If MC can read into it and be like, there was 1 SCV missing from the amount of SCVs that were there at the time, which would have been around 14 or 13 at that point, and maybe MC can be smart enough to tell what's going on. He's already started to build a Stalker here. He's got double gases. He chrono boosted the Stalker. And just by the way that his units are moving here, and if we see a second Stalker, I think that he may just have a small feeling that something's not quite right here.
He may do. The first SCV is under pressure and does end up dying, so no opportunity for him to throw down a bunker just there or anything like that. If this army was actually moving forward. Now, this is a lot of Marines that could do something. So far, no second unit has been started. The Stalker has to be careful. Has to be careful. Has to be careful. Has to be careful. Has to be careful.
MC.
Oh, no.
And now he knows there's 2 barracks, because that's a lot of Marines there, and that's a mistake from MC. Just losing his Stalker so easy like that. And MMA with his hidden 2 barracks, he's got his command center down, he's got his 3rd, and the gas is on the way. But if he was to be able to get more damage than just a single Stalker kill...
Photon overcharge not done just yet for the main Nexus, because it's not going to be able to be thrown down on the natural anytime soon. And this is pressure. A lot of pressure. He could force the cancellation of this Nexus quite easily.
1 Stalker's been chrono boosted now. A second one on the way. He cannot lose this Nexus here. He absolutely cannot lose it. It's going down. There's another Marine that comes in. He's going to have to micro around if he's going to try and go for it, is he? He sees the Stalker. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for the Nexus.
And he gets the cancel. Very nicely done by MMA.
Great move from MMA. And to be honest, you don't want to stick around. You know there's going to be another Stalker on the way. You know there'll be more gateways. Just go home, buddy. That was a fantastic move. And if he sticks around, time warp's available. Stalkers are available. MC says, all right, it's time for 4 gateways. Blink is probably going to be on the way after that Twilight Council finishes. And MC has absolutely been pushed in one direction alone, and I would not be surprised if MMA just scanned the main base soon, saying, all right, you're delayed.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
This is like echoes of MC versus Thorzane on the exact map. If he goes for Blink and starts getting aggressive himself, but I don't think...
Oh, there it is. Just absolutely perfect. Perfect. That's perfect. You know, you push your opponent down one way, you've cancelled his Nexus, you say, all right, you have to do something here. What is it? And he sees it straight away.
MMA opening up game number 1 with a very impressive play. And, well, Dark Shrine. But MMA, he's going to know that's an option. He sees the Twilight Council. He's not going to under-prepare. He's got an advantage. His second command center was quicker.
Right now, he knows that there's obviously no robo, so there's not going to be an observer. That maybe, obviously, he could use the Mothership Core to get into the main base, but that's a little bit more risky. And at this point, he's just very concentrated on the front door. He's got the Engineering base, got +1 attack. And if he sees, in the next 30 seconds, all right, where are the Stalkers? Why haven't you attacked me yet? You've obviously thrown down the Nexus, and the most smooth, the most natural transition from the Twilight Council, from a maybe Blink play, is obviously the Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
And I really think that we should see a turret on the natural.
If we don't, I'd be surprised. MMA here, again, he doesn't have to cut corners. He can just take those little defensive postures and be completely fine in this game. He already established himself a great lead. Robo Facility finishes up along with the Nexus for MC behind this, so he is going to be playing this out. But the Dark Shrine is close to completion.
And a Warp Prism is on its way. There is no turret yet from MMA. Obviously, this is just everybody that knows StarCraft knows that the Twilight Council goes into the Dark Shrine. From this point, if MMA gets stung by DTs, he only has himself to blame at this point.
Of course.
And the Warp Prism is on its way, and I think that's how the DTs are going to be used here. Of course, MC doesn't even know if there is a turret or not. But, of course, Mules and Energy are going to be imported to monitor from now. He's going to have a couple of scans soon.
Two Dark Templars are now warping in. Blink also behind this because MC, he loves that Blink. The two Dark Templars are going to try and pressure at the front whilst the Warp Prism's going to go around the other side.
Still no turret. Two bunkers get salvaged on the natural. He adds on a couple more barracks. And if he doesn't spot this, right now he has energy in the main base and energy on the natural, just about. 2 scans available.
Plenty.
Does he use mules? Because if he does, there's one. He's got one more in the natural. Does he call it down?
Does he call it down?
Maybe the Warp Prism will tick him in the right direction. And he sees the Warp Prism now. He shouldn't be using that scan.
Yeah,
and now he knows. Now he knows.
How much damage are they going to be able to get done here? Missile turret goes down in the mineral line of the natural, but this one DT in the main base already got 2 kills. Has to run away. Scan will kill that one off.
Yeah, and now SKMC doesn't know if there's another scan available, so he actually is going to get out of there. To be honest, that wasn't a lot of kills. That was only 1 or 2 SCVs. And all the turrets are down now. He's got the wall off with his supply depot, turret supply depot on the ramp. He's got the turret in the mineral line and in the main. And to be honest, MC does survive for now.
You know what's interesting, though, is that during all of this, Chrono Boost has been spent on nothing but Nexi. So he's got 47 workers to 41, which is a really nice position for MC.
Exactly, but what does that mean that's missing if he's got all his Chrono Boost into the Nexus?
A lot of units.
So he's down in supply at the moment. The first Colossus is on its way. MMA has Medivacs going across. Now, was spotted there by the Observer. He should have seen that. Absolutely should have seen that. And now we have to see. MC is caught up in economy through having a bad start, but does he has the army vibe? Does he have the defense? Because we know what MMA's like. Unfortunately, a little bit supply bot there slowing him down, but if he gets the speed and starts the drops, this actually spotted there by the DT.
Yeah, for the second time. So MMC has full confirmation of where this army is going.
Blink is ready.
Exactly.
He's about to pounce. MC knows he's
really
about
good
to
position.
pounce.
He's going to try and go for this. And there we go. There's the Blink forwards. Doesn't get it.
Doesn't get it, though, unfortunately.
That was clever positioning by the Stalkers, though. Just slightly out of range of the Medivacs.
All right, so MMA says, all right, it's going to be hard to kind of break the front door. I mean, break kind of with drops because there's Blink and so on. And good observation from MC with DT getting in there, doing a bit of damage as well. That will be scanned and picked off. But Viking production has begun, but there's only 1. So even a front door attack isn't that strong here. There's 4 sentries. They've all got enough energy for a force field or so. There's some of them already full. So this is actually kind of difficult unless we see a mistake from MC.
Unless we see a flank. He actually blinks forwards and kills off the Vikings straight away. But those units coming around from the back here, can they get to that closest to focus it down? They are going to focus it down. It has to walk straight forwards to the other bio, and it does end up dying. These Stalkers and sentries are very, very vulnerable.
What is MC doing out in the open?
I don't know.
That's time what comes down now. He hasn't got enough energy for an photon overcharge, and MMA just pounces at the opportunity.
What good decision making though there by MMA to leave just a small portion of that army on the left hand side for that flank. MC caught completely off guard, and now MMA, he takes that lead.
Yeah, and remember, throughout all of this, because MC's been playing from behind, he's had no time to get forges, but now he doesn't have a Colossus, he doesn't have any force fields, he only has Stalkers.
Blink Stalkers, how well are you going to do against this stimmed bio? I don't think you're going to do too well. Nice time warps, will slow a bit of this down for the Zealots to actually catch up with it, but the Stalkers are evaporating. The one Colossus comes out, he does have thermal lance, he can try and keep it alive, but the Marauders cannot get to it as well. MMA still has a huge army supply advantage, but the Colossus has to be microed so diligently.
Stalkers against Marauders are like kittens versus sledgehammers, because look, they are dying very, very fast here. Probes coming off the line as well, and MMA is cruising in this game through a mistake of MC being out in the open, pushed him further behind, even though he was crawling back into it. MMA just attack after attack. A counter blink there, just jumps forward, picks off a couple of units, but the amount spraying across, it's becoming too much.
Once the Stalkers die, the Colossus is now vulnerable, and picks it up in the Warp Prism, trying to save it as best as he can. No Marines there to actually bring that down, so saving that was a very good move by MC.
The Viking count now, non-existent.
Still
I thought they'd be more than that, never mind. MMA, though, still in the middle of the map, has a 3rd command center, has 2-2 on the way, just stretching his lead further and further and further. Still, no upgrades, no forges, something I tried to explain before, because MC's been playing so far behind, he really put everything into his economy, and then put everything into his army, and still hasn't had the opportunity to get forges, to get upgrades. So naturally, this army is just so much stronger. It's got 1-1. It's going to have 2-2 soon. The Viking count's rising. It's got +1 attack for the Vikings. The longer this game goes on, the harder it is for MC if nothing happens. If it's a parallel game with no damage done or taken, MMA just goes for a win. We need to see something special from MC to get back in this game.
Especially with a third command center being landed and no Nexus going down just yet for MC. Even his third in the pocket expansion is blocked by the factory. So it's going to be really, really difficult here for MC to fully establish that expansion in a rapid rate. He's being suffocated.
Yeah. Maybe this warp prism could be that one thing to get MC back in the game. Maybe. What's he going to warp in? A Zealots, or 2, or 3, or 4. And I guess it's a start, right? It's a little bit, but what does he pick off there? A turret for 400 minerals, which could have been the Nexus, for example. So, and you look at it in retrospect, what did it kill and how much did it cost? Probably not even worth it there.
It's pretty expensive. Pretty expensive. MC here going for the Templar Archives, realizing that he kind of has to diversify his army just in general. But at this point, with MMA's army looking at 90 supply to 58, how does he get everything up and running this quickly?
Here comes a classic Terran. You harass, you find some way to get a lead, should I say, and then as you find an opportunity to hit a specific timing, 2-2 upgrades, you go for a kill. It's just how Terran is meant to be played in StarCraft. And even though the Colossus is high, can 2-2 Marauders push him through? That's 4 Colossus.
That's not a whole lot of force fields he has there. Guardian Shield will soak up a lot of this damage, but at the same time, the Bio, it has to micro back against those Zealots that were pushing it away. 4 Colossi holding on here for MC for a bit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And those Marauders, they're sitting around here for quite a while. They do pick off one of the Colossi, but that was not too bad a cost-efficient trade there for MC.
I'm so surprised because there are 2 Stargates, but 2 Starports, but we just aren't seeing a high Viking count.
Yeah.
If he had a high Viking count, there's a chance to win the game. But MC says, what are you doing? Would you kill me, please? I'm meant to lose this game. And all of a sudden, MC's like, all right, well, if you're not going to build Vikings, and I've still got Stalkers, let's go. I've got a Colossus count. I know you're not going to make the same mistake again without having Vikings, and somehow, some way, MC weirdly has a chance to win this game.
What is going on? These Colossi, they poke forwards. They know they can't be threatened too much here. Once the ground army comes along with those Stalkers, they will be able to buffer a lot for these Colossi. Good time warp as well, and the ramp is going to slow a lot of that army down. He has to micro back, though. The militia core will end up falling. Units from the back, they're trying to kill off the Colossi. One goes down, and the second and third are going to fall as well.
Nothing to say about that.
GG.
Even though his game was threatened there, that's just analyzing a situation, saying, crap, I don't have X, let me have Y, and then just made a bit of a better situation with a really sour one. He had no Vikings, so we picked up units and dropped them behind the Colossus. 2-2, of course, is always going to be a crucial setup against 0-0 there for MC. MMA not making it easy for himself there, is he?
No, not at all, but now, being up these games, this is really impressive here by MMA, gotta say. Very, very cool opener here. It actually did quite a bit. It forces the cancellation of the Nexus at the very beginning. Very cool.
All right, so if I was to look at that game, and I really think if MC had an equal game against MMA, I think MC played better. Even though MMA won, I think MC showed a better game there. MMA was supply blocked. I looked at the stats for over 2 minutes in that game. It's a very long time to be supply blocked. Why didn't he have Vikings? Stuff like this is something which a player on MC's skill level will absolutely destroy you on. You make that same mistake again, you make those same mistakes again in game 2 when MC isn't playing from behind, doesn't have to rush out his economy, then rush out an army and forget upgrades, he'll crush you. MMA has to step it up. Even though he won game 1 there, he made a lot of mistakes.
And I think, MC's a player of the caliber that looks at that game and is like, well, okay, yeah, you made some mistakes. I was pushing out that far, realizing that those mistakes were there. So if that happens again, he's going to pounce at the opportunity.
The one thing that you can say to MMA is like, maybe he did just turn off a little bit after realizing that was an easier game than expected. That's the one thing that could kind of be the excuse for not playing top tier there. But whatever the case, the next map is almost ready. It is going to be on Frost. And we'll see. This is a best of 7, remember. The first player to get to 4 wins. MMA's picked up the first one.
All right, let's jump into game number 2 to find out if MMA can take the 2-0 lead or if MC can tie it up 1-1. Spawning up to the top right are Red Protoss, representing SK Gaming as well as Korea. Ladies and gents, give it up for MC. And up to the top left, Blue Terran representing Acer and Korea. Give it up for MMA.
So traditionally here for a Terran player, Command Center first is very popular. One Barracks Command Center is also, those are the top 2 builds to see. MC, I think Grubby really pointed out a very solid point. So far in his WCS run, in straight-up games, he hasn't done that well. But when it comes to very aggressive games, and we can even remind ourselves to MC versus MMA last season, aggressive plays is where MC has got his results.
Yeah. I think the biggest contrast of that was in the round of 16 against Thorzane. The fact that the first series was such a dominating position from Thorzane that just went for the macro into those big pushes with SCVs, and then the switch up into the second series where we saw MC being very aggressive against him and then having huge success. So will he employ this here against MMA at some point?
Both players fighting for a tournament victory that has been so waited for by both of them over 18 months. I mean, 18 months for MMA, 19 for MC. But look at this, though. We do have a gas opening from MMA. It's a 12 barracks and 12 gas, which pushes us in the direction of a Reaper opening. With a Reaper opening here, there is a chance to potentially get a kill on a probe or 2. There's a chance to go around and scout. It depends on if he builds 1 or 2. The most common is 1 because, to be honest, once the Mothership core is out and the Stalker, it is very difficult to get a lot of damage done, or even scouting. So usually then we just go over to the command center and reactor on the barracks. But we'll see what MMA chooses to do. He is sending the SCV in the right direction and also the Reaper in the right direction.
Yeah, so that's very nice there for MMA. MC, meanwhile, adding on that cybernetics core as is tradition, and no more gas being mined just yet for MMA, wanting to get that command center out as quickly as possible.
But we do have a lot of gas that's already been brought in here by MC, mining 3 and 3 on both the simulators. The SCV goes in and spots that immediately. MC does have the option to proxy a building at this point in time. Even after the Mothership core and Stalker has been built, he still has 50 gas floating around. So it's not too far away from his tech structure if he wanted to throw one down here. Obviously, it's a big risk when there's a Reaper out. That's going to be looking around for any small details.
Yeah.
Look at that, floating around to the back here, trying to get to the mineral line, I think.
Especially hanging around.
Ooh, stop.
I think he's going to hide there and wait to see what goes next to this pylon.
Yeah.
Because that pylon...
Yeah.
He knows that his opponent's up the top left, so that pylon's very indicative of, like, you know, some kind of Stargate positioning or something like that. And the Stalker went in, and oh, okay, so he does dive in the end. Yeah,
and he's got 1 kill already, and
nice.
You try to get out here. He should be able to. Oh, no, he's not. Nice catch there by MC with his probes.
And it looks like he's just saving up for that Nexus here.
Yeah, and I think MMA is going to be very cautious with this game because, as mentioned, there's a lot of gas that's been mined. 250, 270 now in the bank.
But this is what MC said he was doing in previous series. He was like, "I'm getting a lot of gas. I'm farming. I'm just gathering the gas."
It's a really good point you bring up. That's something that he said that he liked to do.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's very confusing sometimes for a Terran player because that's not very normal. It's kind of the only player I've seen do it is MC. The way that he did play it before in the round of 16, very smartly, he did eventually spend all the gas.
Yeah.
But for the style that he went for, it was Blink, it was Thermal Lance, it was Colossus, it was a +1 armor, it was all these things all at once. And look at that, 400 gas in the back.
It's such a weird thing to see, but it seems to work out in the end.
He's got a lot of options.
It really does.
Scan goes down, and MMA's like, what are you doing? Sees the Forge coming in.
It's like, nah, I see a Forge. That's like, nah, I really don't care too much about that.
Yeah, I don't think he's too worried. I mean, that scan's just kind of a neutral scan, doesn't really see anything, so I don't think he's too stressed out here. Obviously, he knows his opponent's banked a lot of gas, but I think that even though MMA may be confused a little bit, with a bit of a word of advice from a coach, his manager's here just says, all right, this is how MC likes to do. Don't freak out about it. That's obviously something that may come into factor for the rest of the games.
Yeah, the +1 weapons just start for MC. No doubt we'll see some tech go down. There's the Robo facility. Was he throwing the Twilight Council down as well at the same time? Or
not straight
was it
away.
A little bit later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, that's certainly on the cards as well. Just getting those sentries out, always very gas-intensive here with that initial one.
So he has chosen +1 attack over +1 armor here, which is a big difference. +1 armor you usually use to be able to deal when the Marines have +1 attack, and you've been on the defensive side. +1 attack could be an indication here that we could see MC be more aggressive here.
And I won't mind that from MC, because again, that's where his success has really come from. There's a 2 gases actually going down at the natural for MC. So once again, committing a little to that tech. 3 sentries on the high ground already. That's quite a few sentries, actually.
There's the Twilight Cancel. There's the Robo Bay. I think we're starting to line this up to a Blink and a Thermal Lance and a Colossus build. And we very well could see a 2-base play from MC.
It could hit really hard.
But on the other hand, MMA, you know, with his setup, he's fine. You know, there's nothing that's really slowed him down. Of course, he's played very cautious with, you know, scanning and just making sure that he's not dying. He's got his units in position all at the right time. So MMA is not in a bad position at all. If this was a 2-base attack, if MMA was to identify it, I don't think he'd die to it.
No, just, you know, just keep that Stargate, Starport active. Make sure that you do have Vikings out for when that were to come. And you would be right as rain.
And he's got a faster Starport than most Terran players as well, or should I say the older style of Terran players, because the newer style is actually 2 barracks, then the factory Starport. Faster Starport means faster Medivacs, means a faster Viking switch as well. So everything is kind of set up rather nicely for MMA. And very soon, he is going to start to get some more intel on this game. Apart from that scan that we saw earlier, he's completely in the dark. He's not got no information. He's sending Marines to 3rd bases now. And we already have Blink and +2. Very interesting here from MC to play this way.
That's a lot of damage he's going to be able to deal out if he's able to get there.
And if the Colossus are left alone and can't be touched by Vikings and they have +2,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's a very hard thing to deal with. MC just bringing back his observers to make sure he's well and truly stable. What does he see with that scan?
Well, he sees gateways turning on, sees the robotics bay at the back, and sees the robotics facility being used. So this is, of course, leaning much, much more towards Colossus play.
Yeah. It's such a shame for him, though, because that scan, it dissipated just before the Colossus popped out.
Yeah,
I mean,
he knows.
Yeah, of
course. He
course.
started Viking production, and he's on, at the moment, 4 barracks. We should be seeing the 3rd command center come in soon, but I'm pretty sure he'll end up throwing down a 2nd starport here, especially against a player like MC.
And Thermal Lance has only now just started after the first Colossus is completely finished and the second one's halfway through. So the Thermal Lance isn't going to line up exactly with 2 Colossi being out here. Meanwhile, MC, slight supply block in this moment.
A little bit, yeah. But at the moment, MMA is like, all right, if you're not going to take a 3rd, then I'm not going to really drop you, because obviously MC's a player that loves Blink. If he's tucked tightly on 2 bases, you aren't going to break him.
No.
As a Terran player, it's very rare that we see somebody break a Protoss player who's defensive on 2 bases, with the likes of... I had a couple of pops there. With the likes of, you know, Blink and Photon Overcharge, it's very easily set up to defend against any play. So at the moment, MMA is like, all right, cool, don't take a 3rd. But the one thing he's got to be careful about is what happens now if MC does go for a 2-base push, which I still think's on the card, by the way, but with +2 attack, a lot of Stalkers, and 3 Colossus, the Viking count's still only at 4, and there's still only 1 starport.
The Vikings are going to die so fast. So fast if he just is able to focus down on them properly. And then that leaves the Colossi with full reign across the army. 3 Colossi with nothing really to deal with them. MMA is going to have to position himself very, very well in this engagement if it comes.
I think that, look at MMA on the minimap. He's actually got a unit, a Marine, on the south 3rd base, and a Marine at the north, spotting for when the 3rd is down. MMA in a minute is going to say, it's 13 minutes in the game. Where is your 3rd? And what I think we'll end up seeing is MMA go back, build bunkers, and sit tight himself. It's very, very unusual the way that MC's playing. Very unusual. Marauder count is the only thing being built. He's spotted a pylon at the north now. The factory's going over there and will eventually spot the 3rd. MMA needs bunkers, man. He needs to go hide, set up a good defensive position.
He needs a lot of defense.
If he's caught out in the open...
The Observer...
He sees the Colossus. They shouldn't be on the other side of the map if you're playing a defensive style.
No, that's right. The Observer having died off there.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how big his opponent's army is, regardless of that actually dying off just then. He knows the Viking count, which is really, really important here. It's just Stalkers, 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 Stalkers.
And I'm pretty sure MMA knows what's going on at this point. He's going to sit on the high ground. This is good for him to be up here. But he can't be caught out by force fields or anything at this point. MC has +2, has +3 on the way. MC's playing such a weird style here. Very unique, but...
Oh, blinks forwards, kills off 2 Vikings.
2 Vikings.
He's looking for more.
Oh, absolutely. It's MC, man. He's looking for everything. He's looking for first place.
He's looking for more. He blinks forwards, kills off just a few units that have to retreat onto the high ground. Making sure that concave's good.
You can't, MC can't exactly fight up that ramp though. It's very
No.
difficult to break that. Look at the spread that MMA has. So how is MC going to do this? He's still on 2 bases.
Very good. He drops the scam.
Remember though that even though if MC doesn't kill his opponent, MMA has stopped upgrading, right? He's only at 1-1. He is kind of... This is smart play by MC. Even though it's very weird, it's very smart at the same time. He's pushed his opponent so defensively, and he's really slowed down everything. For example, the SCVs are at 50. They haven't increased. The barrage count's still at 4 or 5. 5, sorry. There's no ghost attack. Oh, actually just now been put down. But most importantly, no upgrades. There's +3 attack on the way. And if there was a counter-attack by MMA with Mass Vikings, Storm is almost set up as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is a nice move, though, by MMA. This
Does it have a
drop.
Marauder in there?
Yes. Uh-oh. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye-bye, Storm. Oh, Zealot's trying to warp in. Will he be able to do anything about this? Feedback on the medevac, but it doesn't matter. Storm
Oh my god, that
goes.
is so big. That's such a crucial part of MC's strategy here. Because if MMA goes across the map right now and goes for a massive time, he's like, I've been building my
So many
Vikings,
Vikings.
buddy. I've been ready for you, Colossus, without any Storm at this point. There's 14 Vikings.
Uh-oh.
And then it's going to be a lot of ground units here. It's going to be like the Stalkers versus Marauders again. MMA just naturally has a massive window of opportunity to win the game. He's pulling SCVs to win the game right now. And he could take a 2-0 lead.
Stalkers need to do a lot of work, a ton of work here to deal with this. Blinks back with those Stalkers, needing to keep those out of range of all of this. Catches one Viking, no, doesn't even get the one. This is a huge army here by MMA.
Oh, this is such a gift for MMA of killing that Templar Archives. Once the Colossus go down,
dear.
+3 isn't even ready. MMA's army's massive. He's going to crush through everything.
Oh, the Colossus end up dying. All the Vikings land as well. He knows all he has to do is crush the Stalkers. And MMA in game number 2 with a massive surge through the middle of the map. GG.
Whoa, good game there by MMA. 2-0.
What a move. What a move.
What a find. To find the Templar Archives up there. What happens if it was on the natural? What happens if it was somewhere else in the main base?
If it had been anywhere else, it wouldn't have gone. Storm would have finished.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that was just a player like MMA, when he gets a chance, he's not going to throw that away. And Seller, I think right now is telling him just a little bit more about how MC's playing. I'm pretty sure he's going to be, all right, this guy's pulling a lot of gas. Don't be too afraid. He's playing very weird. When he plays like that, don't fall victim to fall back. Because to be honest, I think if MC had got what he wanted in that game, if that push had come, then Storm would have stopped it. And then I think 3 Nexus, which is pretty much running +3 attack, was almost finished. Would have been a very different game for the boss toss.
And I think just kind of looking outside of this series for a second, MMA and Acer in general have a fantastic resource in a player, in a coach, in a manager like Seller, who was a pro gamer at one point. He understands the mentality. MMA and the players of Acer have so much trust in Seller to be able to advise them through these moments. So that gives MMA a great position here.
MMA is 2 games up in this best of 7. They're actually, from what I can look at and the way that they're typing and smiling, talking about MC. I'm pretty sure he's saying, dude, you got lucky, man. Yeah. If you didn't snipe that, you were dead. And then MMA's like, no, I would have won anyway. You know how it is when 2 players are bantering back and forth like that. But the third map now, Whirlwind.
Whirlwind for game number 3. If MMA took a 3-0 lead, I don't know how MC could come back in that. But now we load up onto game number 3 between MMA and MC, as MMA's 2 games up currently. This is a big one. This is a big one. It's a big final just in general. MMA versus MC. This is glorious. All right, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, our red Protoss, representing SK Gaming as well as Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for MC. They're currently 2 games up, looking for that victory here in the grand finals of WCS Europe, representing Acer as well as Korea. Ladies and gents, give it up for MMA.
Everybody being a massive StarCraft 2 fan, these 2 players are just StarCraft. When you look at StarCraft 2 professional scene, you say, who are the Protoss players you know? I'm sure MC is going to rise up.
Yep.
Who are the Terran players you know? MMA is going to rise up.
Yep.
Between the both of them, they've won like over $600,000 in this game. Over $500,000 between the both of them in prize money.
It's crazy.
MC, I think, has 4 StarCraft 2 championships. MMA has 5. Between them, 9 major tournament victories. Absolutely insane.
And those tournament victories, like GSLs, IEM World Championships, just crazy results across the board.
Yeah.
And now both of them having found this position again. For MC, is deja vu of Season 2 again here in the finals, but he's down. He is down. He needs to recover this position. Whirlwind, does it present an opportunity here for MC to recover?
Absolutely. Through their results this season, they're both in the top 16 in the World Championship point system. They're up there now. They're in the top 16. They're going to the season finals. And MMA wants nothing more. We've talked about it throughout the weekend. Wants nothing more than to hear the crowds at BlizzCon chanting his name like they once did 2 years ago. MC would love that opportunity as well, as MC currently sits ranked number 12, MMA ranked number 13.
Wow.
The winner between them would, I mean, it's actually wouldn't change, actually. MC is a little bit too far ahead. But of course, season finals, they both will represent Europe in the season 3 finals, not too far away. But I think that's a little bit too far past where they're thinking.
Yeah, it's all eyes on this series.
On this map, Whirlwind.
On this one map.
So MC spotted Command Center first in 2 barracks. It is a good find for him. On the other hand, he's just going to go ahead and throw down his Nexus as fast as he can here. He's got the Stalker out and even going to skip the Mothership core here just to make sure he can get that down. As MC obviously needs to kind of catch up with his economy because MMA's got a bit of a stronger build when it comes to an early SCV count, early mineral count.
Yeah. A little bit of harassment there with the probe tasering away, and the Nexus will start here for MC. And now on a map like this, does spot that Nexus, so that's a little bit of a reassurance here for MMA.
And MC jumps back into gas, but he's majorly pylon blocked.
Right.
Chrono boosted into a Nexus that cannot build anything. Has to throw down a pylon, a classic mistake from MC. Forgetting a pylon. That's obviously very big at this point. Stuck at 26 supply for a long time, wasted a chrono boost for no reason. And there's no extractor tricks here like a Zerg player sometimes can sneak out. And unfortunately, MC's plays from a bit of a difficult position. But what does the boss toss do in a difficult situation? Throws down a 3rd Nexus. That's what the boss toss does.
Wow. And
but
there's a scout already on the way.
There's a scout.
Look at this by MMA.
And look, oh my.
Oh, what?
Of course MMA would see it, wouldn't he? If anyone was going to go spot that 3rd Nexus, it would be MMA.
He doesn't lose Banshees.
But this is actually, this is smart, because if you think why MMA sent this out, it's very simple, because his scout was stopped very early, and he knows that MC knows that he went command center first, which means he can't be super aggressive early. Therefore, there is a chance that MC would do something like this.
What? He changed direction.
Why didn't he do that?
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, he's gonna do it. I was gonna say you don't waypoint somewhere and then not go somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's now seen it and he's gonna retreat back. From this position, he can also just be incredibly greedy himself. There's nothing he can do because Stim's nowhere near ready. Right, and there's going to be a couple of ground units, Stalkers, Mothership core to push this back. So MMA here, the most likelihood is towards going 3 command centers pretty fast here. And then, like, I don't know, I guess maybe 2nd Engineering Bay down. It's not like he can be aggressive for a long time here.
We'll see what he wants to do.
Maybe if he's not going to try and take a 3rd command center fast, there's maybe a chance of an SCV pull. But one thing for certain, he knows if he doesn't do something soon, whether it be increasing his own economy or being aggressive, then he's literally going to fall behind in the game. It's that simple. MC's got a very fast 3rd base.
3 gates get added on for MC, and we'll see what he wants to do as well off this. Of course, he's not really going to go for some aggression himself off the back of 3 Nexus. He's going to have an economical advantage. And MMA, what's he going to do to react to that is the big question. He adds on a few barracks. Does he have an opportunity with Stim to do something here?
He's going to try it, man.
Yeah.
He's going to try it. The one thing that happens when you go 3 Nexus here, and MC's trying to find out what he's doing, and MC gets a great scout here. Goes in and says, wait a minute, you didn't add on a 3rd command center after seeing this. So MC now knows that he's going to try something here with Stim, with Medivacs. He may try to pull SCVs. I'm not sure, though. The reason why I say that is because one crucial thing that will be missing from MC is splash damage. You can't rush up your tech at this point because you're going to have like 1 Colossus, and then you get dropped in multiple locations and you die. So MC's got a large sentry count. He's going to have a large amount of gateways. He may even decide to throw down a Twilight Council. Yeah, exactly. Throw down the Twilight Council, go straight for Blink.
Double Twilight
Council, double for Blink and Zealot Charge. He's saying, I'm going to play with ground units. I'm going to upgrade them twice. And all I need to do with 3 Nexus is defend against your push.
And
a very smart choice, but more importantly, this all came down to MC Luna's Phoenix scouting this.
Yeah, if you deal with this, you're sitting pretty. Completely sitting pretty. This Stalker moves out and sees this army. The supply, obviously the army count is in favor of MMA right now, but if MC holds on a little bit longer, he's got so many gateways to power up his army.
MC doesn't need to overprobe though. To be honest, he sitting at 60s is fine. Any more than that is almost building probes towards taking the gases on the 3rd base, which you don't need to do. I think he just cancelled a few or they finished. Whatever it is, you shouldn't build more than that. Zealot Charge and Blink at the same time. This is just a very smart play here. But can it work? It's very intelligent the way that he's worked around this, but can it work? It's going to be combat shields, it's going to be +1 attack, eventually it'll be +1 armor as well, it's going to be stim. It's going to be a lot of units pressuring. Can MC cut this army to the right choice, to the right sizes?
Double chrono boost on those to get those up out as quickly as possible. He needs to buy time on that ramp with the force fields. There's not that many medivacs out here.
He needs to be positioning his units very well here.
Oh, those Stalkers at the front, that's not positioned well. All those Zealots at the back aren't really doing anything. Stim is doing a lot of damage to this army. The medivacs also helping out considerably as well. Force fields, they've fallen, but it's not going to work.
I really don't think MC should have gone down that ramp to attempt this. I really don't think he should have done that. I think he may have just thrown this game away. This is a very difficult situation to be in because that was maybe not a move he wanted to do. He thought he could. He looked down. He saw what was there. He was confident that it would work. But as we saw, he just lost a lot. If you look at the resources lost tab, there was nothing lost until just now. There's 1,400 resources lost difference. He lost much, much more now. And we're going to have a big, oh my god, a big drop inside the main base. Luckily, MC does anticipate this.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many Stalkers, so he won't be able to kill off those medevacs, but he will be able to deny the drop, which is the main point here. Oh, actually, he's just going to go for it. He doesn't even care about those units. They do have charge, they do have blink, they can get out of there. Focus and overcharge will buy him some time as well, but that one pylon powering those gateways. He's going to have a really hard time reinforcing.
And MC, actually MMA, sorry, can lift up, drop back on the 3rd. There's units waiting. If he gets a snipe on that 3rd Nexus somehow, some way, then MC would be in a lot of trouble. He warps in units to try to defend. He launches Fulton overcharge already. He knows that this is a very important place to save. Cannot lose this. He's lost units already. Manages to, well, actually, no. 3 Stalkers for 1 medivac's not a good trade in this regard. He needs every little bit he can get. 3 more gateways being built to try to hold on. Army supply 73 to 44.
It's so strong here for MMA, but at the same time, we know he needs to do some good damage here. Oh, actually, he's got his command center up and running, so he has that fall backup plan. He's got 2-2 on the way as well. MC right now still has no splash damage. He has only gateway units.
Man.
This army's going to do so much damage here.
And he's in such a good position here.
Oh, the Stalkers have to blink back. Zealots at the back catching some of those reinforcements, but it's not enough. MMA is going to power through all of those Stalkers. The Zealots aren't doing anything at the back at all. And MMA says, you can't get away with this. 3rd base? Nuh-uh. I'm just going to absolutely kill everything.
Picking up some units there, but it doesn't matter. MMA is going to walk away with this victory as well. 3 games in a row. There's just nothing left for the boss toss. GG MMA, 3 games in a row. Against the boss toss, 3 games in a row.
Uh-oh.
He's now 1 game away from his first championship in 18 months. 1 game away.
What a performance here by MMA so far. Sella can't hold back a smile by the looks of things. As this is getting tense. MC now has to win 4 games to come back in this grand final. Otherwise, MMA takes it all.
It's very rare that you can win 4 games in a row. The rare occasion we saw it was Soulkey versus Innovation. It's very difficult to achieve. MC now, after 3 games in a best of 7, can request 5 minutes, and he has requested 5 minutes. He needs some time to think over things before he jumps into the next map here, which is which is a given, to be honest.
Yeah, certainly. You can't. You've got to kind of contemplate exactly what you're going to do here when you're in this certain position. So, guys, we are going to go to a commercial break. Join us after the break when we find out who is going to be crowned the WCS Europe champion.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Simmer it down, please. Simmer it down, please. Thank you. No, actually, that's fine. So as it were, for the first time in the history of StarCraft 2, we're actually way ahead of schedule. So right now, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff to just buy as much time as we possibly can. And we're looking to kill about 2 hours, so stay tight. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be really quick. It'll be good. Yeah. The producer just said, tell him you're kidding, by the way. They were really worried about that. It's fine. We're going to do a quick call to a BarCraft in Israel, and we're going to check in on those guys. So can you hear me, people in Israel? I'll take your clapping as a no, but we're really happy to have you on stream. Thank you for imbibing in alcohol and watching StarCraft 2.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah!
Thanks.
All right. Can you guys... Holy crap. They're on the moon. Thank you. This is... Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
All right. You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Hey.
What's the #1 drink in Israel right now while you watch this? I thought I heard Canada. That can't be right. What are you guys drinking in Israel right now? Beer still. Someone shouted beer. That's going to be your official answer. I appreciate that.
It is our official answer.
What is that?
It is our official answer.
There you go. Beer it is. All right. Thank you, Israel. You guys are awesome. Thanks for participating, and it was awesome checking in with you guys. All right. Well, thank you guys. We're also going to check in with another guy that's been drinking a lot of beer. Let's go over here to Grubby. Grubby, how you doing?
It's not true. It's not true.
I wasn't supposed to tell you guys that.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you? I'm loving this buy time segment with you.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I had a really awkward call with Israel, and now I made a bad joke with you. So I was asked to ask you this. As Apollo has said, you're a professional StarCraft 2 player. That's well established at this point. What would you do if you're MC right now? How would you...
Run away!
Yeah? Just run away? Oh, he's got his headset. That's on.
Run away!
Yeah. What does he got to do to get back into this? Have you seen any weakness in MMA's play?
I was asking myself the same thing. As I said, I played MMA earlier, and I came up short with an answer. It's like, you can see the moment where he wins, but if you deflected that attack successfully, it could be the moment after where he takes you. He's making a lot of right decisions. Now, MC is playing his own style of Protoss play. It's hyper-aggressive. He's getting attack upgrades over armor, which is well established to be the best way to upgrade Protoss units against Terran usually. He's getting more Stalkers, and most people, they get Zealots because they're better in fights. So he's hoping for an opportunity. He's like a hyena. He's looking for scraps rather than taking down animals themselves, prey themselves. He's waiting for something to come onto his path. If MMA is doing a kind of passive, slight harassment style, passive-aggressive, and he comes with just 1 or 2 medivacs, like a small token harassment, while sitting back and turtling, that's the exact style that MC would love to face, which is why I think maybe many European Terrans, they would have quite a difficult time with MC, potentially. But someone who analyzes MC correctly and sees that he is going completely Blinkstalker Colossus on one base with attack upgrades and says, I don't need to attack. It's not an easy decision to make, because if you are a player, a Terran player, who wins the majority of his games with aggressive playstyle, And you just have this all-encompassing look at yourself. And you say, whenever I'm passive, I lose. Whenever I'm aggressive, I win. And I'm really good at aggression. I know how to multitask. I know how to drop everywhere. It's very hard to step away from that and say, in this particular case, against how MC is playing right now, I don't need to commit to the attack. We saw that on Frost, where he was very patient, didn't add a second starport, didn't add a third command center, was just doing an arms race. He was matching MC, how MC was playing, and just waited for that perfect time. A player like that is very scary. If MC wants to potentially stage a comeback here, he can do one of two things. He can change the way that he plays a macro game to a more traditional style, but the difficulty is he doesn't have as much experience with it, and MMA obviously does. And he has 4 games to notice that this change is coming about. Or he can say, I'm going to make even less Nexi, and I'm going to make a tech building and 4 gates and attack. But even that is very obvious to do that 4 games in a row. So I guess the best answer would be a combination of both, exactly at the right time, with exactly the right execution. It's going to be a monumental job. He can do it, but it's going to be really challenging.
It's going to be very challenging. He's in a hole. It's 0-3. This is a best of 7, which means we have 1 more game to go. But ladies and gentlemen, as is tradition with a commentator, I'm going to show extreme bias and encourage you guys to give one big cheer for the underdog before we go to the commentators. Let's give it up for MC. Come on, give him some hope. All right. That's us tipping the scales just a little bit, hopefully a little bit more of an even match. He's in trouble, as Grubby said. He's 0-3 right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. Stay tuned. Immediately after this grand final, we will have that award ceremony. We will crown our champion, and we'll send these guys off with giant wads of cash and WCS points as they make their way to Toronto. But first, our commentators, Apollo and Claris.
Thanks very much, In Control and Grubby. Okay, we are now in a very tense situation.
That's right, Claris, we are.
MMA is 3 games up, and MC needs to win 4 in a row.
It's hard. It's actually one of the most difficult things in StarCraft 2 to do, because MMA, as Grubby said, even if we see a major change for MC, he has so many games to identify the change and what MC thinks is the best way to beat him and adjust to it. This would be a miracle if MC was able to turn it around and win it. Currently, MMA is on track for his championship here. It is his at the moment. MC needs to take it away.
MMA has looked to claim this all season long. We've talked about it all season long. He's back, and he's showing that here today. He showed that yesterday as well. But now, the challenger spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as our red Protoss, representing SK Gaming and Korea. Give it up for SKMC. And up to the top right-hand corner, our blue Terran, representing Acer as well as Korea. 3 games up. Give it up for MMA.
A killer right now.
Absolutely. And look where this SCV is going. I kind of thought that this might happen, actually. After the break, he's like, well, I guess
Time to play around because I have much to play with.
Yeah.
3 games ahead of my opponent.
And there's not a whole lot of MC right now, unless he diligently scouts. It's going to be Proxy Reaper.
Yep.
And that's annoying. That's very annoying. He's only really going to have a Zealot initially to deal with that, so he's going to have to bounce around with those probe stock. It's not going to be out in time at the very beginning. That's a hindrance.
See how much damage this can get done? That's the biggest question here. A lot of probes could die.
Probes could die.
Right here, right now. With that barrack so close to his base, there's a nice little entrance for the Reaper to jump up with into the main. But MC's going to go in there now, and he's going to spot the early gas. He's going to know exactly what's going on. It's very easy to go in and be like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, he has a look around, sees the gas, and nothing else. So pretty much knows.
He knows.
Cybernetics core goes down. What is he going to do? You know, starting the Zealot is all right, in my opinion, to just kind of push away the Reaper for a while whilst you're waiting for the Stalker. And the barracks number 2 goes down behind this for MMA.
Yep, he's going to really go for it. He's with the single barracks out here, he's going to try and get to the mineral line, slows the opponent down. And if he slows down the probe count, which is obviously great, it slows down the production because he can't afford that many units. Therefore, the Reapers 2x2, if it's just 2 barracks, are going to outnumber whatever we see.
Reaper does jump in, and only now can a Stalker begin after this Zealot. Mothership Core gets Corona boosted out as well. 1 probe already dies.
And there will be more than just 1 Kalaris, let me just tell you that.
Yeah, he's hunting.
He wanted to go into the mineral line, but he of course knew that MC could pull probes.
Yeah.
Only 1 dead so far.
A good pullback there, and whoop.
Only 1 dead so far. Good defense by MC. Can he maybe catch this Reaper?
I don't think so. I don't think so. That Stalker, can it get a hit off? Oh, he's actually exiting
Stalker.
in a weird direction.
Oi! Gets that Reaper. Nice pick off there by MC.
If he'd have gone down that ledge, he actually wouldn't have lost that. But now he jumps up with the second one. Next to get out of there.
And this is not obviously the best start for MMA. MC has a pilot on the other side of the map here. Hasn't started Warp Gate research, so I think we could see a proxy Stargate here. And just say, you know what, if you're going to keep building Reapers, you aren't really going to have any air defense, because he's only got a single Marine, another one coming out. An Oracle would be fantastic here.
It really would. There's just not that much production, unfortunately, from him. Even if the Oracle starts and he has, what, like 5 Marines or something like that, the Stalker itself, killing off any Marines, that one Marine, if that dies, that's a big deal here.
Shouldn't be there at all.
And he gets the Reaper. Does he get the Marine? Does he get the Marine?
No.
No.
Wow.
High ground. Wait, go in the bunker! Go in the bunker! Go in the... What's going on? Ah!
All right, so the Stalker was the one that took a bit of damage there.
That was weird.
All right, so MMA is on 1 base for now. MC will, of course, expand behind this, but he will look to try and get damage done with this Oracle.
2 extra barracks for that as well. So he's going to have a lot of production eventually, but right now he sits at 5 Marines. He's going to have a 6. The Oracle is already on the way. And if the Mothership Core goes with the Oracle as well, that means that they can take on a few more Marines.
And the Stalker, what he may do here is try to bait the Marines towards the edge and get a couple of shots from the Stalker here.
Yeah.
He's going to slow down that barracks if he gets the SCV.
Any little bit of damage he can do here is really good. Really good.
All right, off goes the Oracle. Remember, there's an expansion behind this.
And what can
Time warp on the Marines here.
Oh, that's really bad for him. He's trying to focus down the Oracle as quickly as he can, but all the Marines have ended up dying. 1 Marine is left. This Oracle has free reign.
Yes, it does. There is a single Marine out. That's it. Obviously not going to do a lot here. And MC just comes in and says, you know, you are a cheeky guy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be trying to do that kind of strategy to me. MC runs past the bunker and is going to slaughter a lot of SEVs here. The Mothership Core's doing a lot of damage. The Oracle's out of energy, but there's another one. And this is just an easy game for MC.
There you go. GG. We said probes will die, but in the end, SCVs died.
1 step at a time here for the boss toss. MMA decides to do something crazy. He's got a massive advantage, being 3 games over nothing. And MC sweeps up that strategy from MMA, which was attempted for an easier victory. And now I think we'll see no nonsense from MMA going on from here.
I don't think he has to. I don't think he has to bring the I don't think he has to throw in any nonsense. He's his past few games where he has, apart from the first one, obviously with the 2 barracks initially, has gone straight up and done very well for itself. So this could go MMA's way once again if we see a big macro game. But MC, he's certainly looking to go. He does not want this loss at all.
Well, not at all.
No,
and I think he's just gonna, MMA will probably even just forget about it and says, all right, I'll just give you 1. I'll be nice. You can have 1. And then I'll kill you in the next one, which is going to be Belshir Vestige. So as you can see, here is a reminder of all the 7 maps. We've gone through 4 already. And then we'll be going to Belshir, Derelict Watcher, and then Polar Knight if we get to map number 7. Because right now, every single game is match point for MMA. Just 1 game, still 3 maps remain. Is it, I mean, if these players were sitting down and we just said, all right, MMA, would you like to play against MC? Like, yeah, sure. And then we told MMA, dude, just win 1 game out of 4. He's like, all right. That sounds easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Win 1 game out of 4.
That's not too tall a task for a player of MMA's caliber.
He starts off with a double barracks Reaper play and says, all right, I lost that one. I've still got 3 more.
Oh, dear.
But is MC capable of a comeback here? Can he stop that?
He certainly could be. All right, game number 5 here between these 2 players. Belchia Vestige is our map. As we have, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, are red Protoss, looking to bring it all back here in this best of 7, representing SK as well as Korea. Give it up for SKMC. And up to the top left, our blue Terran, representing Acer as well as Korea as well. 1 game away from advancing to become the grand champion of Season 3. Give it up for MMA.
I really think the no-nonsense attitude will be applied here from MMA. Says, all right, whatever, you've won that. He may go over to a Reaper expand, just normal, just 12 barracks here. But at the moment, okay, there is the 12 barracks coming in. So 12 barracks, 12 gases possible, 12 barracks, and then just wait for the command center is another strategy you could go for.
And what do you reckon from MC? Do you reckon we see aggression?
It's too hard to call. That's one of the hardest things to say. You know, to call correctly. Do you think MC will be aggressive or not? Is very difficult to say because sure, it's the way that maybe he picks up a victory a lot of the time. But is he going to run the risk of it, for example, being scouted? Just to remember back to game number 1, the DT, the Blink and DT play.
Everything was spotted.
Everything was spotted, and to be honest, it was a very easy slide for MMA towards the victory. It was a little bit rough, bit of turbulence in the mid-game when he didn't have any Vikings, but apart from that, it was really easy. So, you know, that's the balance that MC has to juggle. Does he do something crazy, or does he, as Grubby say, adjust his macro game? Change a couple of things, make it stronger, and look for a win that way.
Well, the Reapers are going to join on forwards with this SCV also heading out here for MMA. He could actually move forwards like a Marine or 2 and try and poke around with that small unit combination that we've seen Terrans mix in every so often. But for now, looks like just that command center on the low ground. MMA not doing any funny business.
Not doing anything, just throwing down this command center. So Reaper expansion. And then we should see just the reactor and starting to build those Marines. Need the reactor, need to get the Marines high in case there was a Stargate play or, you know, Oracle coming in. Just get that Marine count nice and high. And of course, what are you going to spend the gas on if not at this point? Not much. MMA currently scouting around everywhere but missed a probe who is hiding under a tree.
And, well, funny business.
A pylon has been planted.
Yep.
His gas count is rising up, 100 right now. By the time the pylon finishes, if he doesn't build anything else, would have 150, which is enough money for a Stargate.
Is it really back to the Stargate again? Is the question. It looks like that might be the case. And there we go. So
MC's balls of steel, really, because doing a strategy like this, if somehow, some way MMA was to go back and scout, but remember, MMA's already scouted up there.
yeah.
So he's not really going to check again, is he?
Just barely missed that probe. Just barely.
Oh, spots no nexus.
What's going on?
Alarm bells, please, MMA. Alarm bells.
All right, what's he going to do in terms of preparation? He's sending the Marines to the front. He's got 2 on the way. 2 barracks are about to finish up, so he's going to have a lot of Marines in production for this.
All right, so the Reaper should be looking around for everything he can find now in the center of the map. This is weird. There should be a nexus by now. He knows that MC's crazy. He's checking the right-hand side maybe of the map, but MMA's got to be very careful here.
He really does.
Oracle is on its way. Still no expansion, and he's going to go in now, and he'll identify what this is. Well, identify 2 options. It's either a Stargate or Robo, the likelihood Stargate. So from this point, let's have a look how MMA reacts from this.
He's just seen everything but the Stargate, so that gives him huge amounts of information.
Yeah, so let's have a look where his Marines are. He's only got 2 SCVs there at the moment. He's got his Marines in his main base. He's got that bunker still alive. These 3 SCVs will die.
Void Rays. Where's the
Did he get the
gateways?
He did get the Oracle, right? Okay, so it's going to be an Oracle to try and do as much damage as possible, then into a Void Ray all-in to break MMA. The best way to deal with this of MMA, you've got to evacuate. There's no way you're holding them naturally.
No.
Ooh, he cancelled those. Upon seeing the Oracle here, I think he may thought that it was going to be a robotics facility, maybe. But still.
Well, the Marines, they're going to chase this away. The bunkers obviously can help a lot against the Void Ray attack if that's...
But he doesn't know the follow-up.
Exactly.
That's the problem. This can just be a proxy Oracle into a later expansion. But as we can see, a Void Ray in a second one.
Does he have... The Reaper died, so he doesn't have anything on the... It doesn't have anything on the field to spot whether or not there's a Nexus there. There has to be some kind of scan or something at some point. Just
Yeah,
try.
but what is the... Oh, okay, so if he scans the main base, he sees the gateways, then he knows. MC has done this with Oracles before, but this time it's going to be Void Rays. Stim is not that far away from finishing now. It's got 60 seconds, a minute. So at 8 minutes 30, roughly, maybe 8:35, 8:40, that's when it'll be ready.
If he thinks he can't break this and goes for a Twilight Council as well, that would be crazy.
Oh,
but,
the Oracle survives. He's got 5 kills as well, a couple of Marine kills. And that Oracle will definitely be used in the fight here. Stim getting closer and closer.
Army supplies 31 to 18 in favor of MC. Those Void Rays, they
Another
make up a big
bunker
chunk.
being made here. And MMA, there's an SCV that on the other side. It actually saw the Nexus there.
Oh.
It's all the lack of Nexus, should I say. He saw the lack of Nexus, so he's actually just going to go ahead and evacuate. He's not going to find himself in a difficult position. He's building more bunkers. And MMA, Stim, look at Stim. It's 10 seconds, and Stim is going to be crucial here.
So helpful.
But still, will it be enough? There's sentries, there's force fields, there's double Void Rays, there's 3 Void Rays.
It's a lot of
time
firepower.
warps, there's the Oracle, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, these bunkers going to have to hold on strong against this. Time warps with that, as you said.
If MMA holds, he's the champion. If he doesn't, we're going on.
Well, there we go. He charges upon this one bunker. That's going to go down so rapidly despite a little bit of the repair, but not full repair all with these SCVs. A second one falls. Third one will end up falling as well. The SCV's just not in the right place. And MC, he's going to push this back with Stim for now. But those bunkers falling.
Right now, he needs to play this smartly. The Void Rays need to be microed well. He can win this if the Void Rays are microed well.
There's only 6 Marines, though. There's only 4 Marines, 3 Marines, 2 Marines, 1 Marine. The Void Rays are going to kill all the anti-air off. There's nothing left for him. GG. MC 3-2. Uh-oh. Is it the comeback?
Well. 2 games in a row, and now just 1 game away from it all being equal. MC decided to go for this, man, and he's done that.
The clutch aggression, the absolute clutch aggression from MC is paying off once again. But going into game number 3, if he goes for it again, is that too predictable? Does he go into a macro game?
Right.
Does he go up against MC there?
You know what he's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you're gonna scout, make sure you scout properly. You missed the
Everywhere.
probe; it was there. You went there, but you didn't see it.
Yeah.
And here's the last reaction. Let's have a look at MC.
As this comes along, it's the GG.
Watch. See? Means a lot. It's 2 games in a row. Very important for him now. And remember that MC was the 2nd place finisher of last season in the World Championship Series here in Europe for the Premier League. MMA was a semi-finalist who lost versus MC. And now we get ready for this next game. Game number 6 of this best of 7. MC's won 2 games in a row off the back of MMA winning 3 games in a row. Derelict watches the next map between these 2.
Yeah, and to be fair, in the past, these guys have met each other quite a bit in the past, be it in GSLs or whatnot. But the last 2 series, they have fallen in MC's favor during Heart of the Swarm. But now, MMA is still just 1 map away from not only defeating MC, but claiming that first place here in WCS Europe. And well, MC could bring it back. He's on the way to bringing it back.
He is, and this just became a lot more difficult than MMA after 3 games thought it would be. There was a couple of smiles. He was like, this is going to be 4-0. Maybe a couple of viewers tuned out because they thought it was going to be 4-0. And now, all of a sudden, it's 3 games to MMA, 2 to MC.
Imagine if he ties this up and we go to 3-3. 1 final map to decide it. That would be crazy. But now, let's get into game number 6 here in this best of 7. As we have MMA and MC load up onto Derelict Watcher. Spawning up to the top right, our red Protoss once again. Representing SK Gaming as well as Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for MC. Down to the bottom left. He was 3 games up, but now only 1. Representing Acer and Korea. Give it up for MMA.
All right, so we've just seen 2 incredibly aggressive, cheesy plays from MC. Does he do it 3 times in a row and equalize the series?
Why not? Let's go for it. Why not?
Derelict Watch is a pretty big map here. This is a map where there's been many a proxy structure from Protoss in the past because it is more difficult to scout. Belgian Vestige should be a staple map. You shouldn't be losing the proxy structures there.
Yeah,
it's
true.
small. It's been played over and over. It's very predictable where the structures are going to be. This map sometimes can trick you because sometimes, it is more difficult to scout everywhere. Sometimes you cut corners with your scouting. But MMA says you're not going to do anything weird again. And it is going to go command center first here.
Well, still has a game in hand, so I guess it's pretty useful.
You can look at it that way, can't you? But now with MC, who's taken double gases already, sees the command center first and says, oh, are you inviting me to do this again? Are you actually inviting me?
And then if so, does MMA think that something like that would come along? I think that MMA, by now, after 2 games, after having that happen to him 2 games, is going to scout so thoroughly. It's not going to leave any stone unturned. SCV, what are you up to? He's checking around.
Right now, I'm just watching MC's base. What's he doing with his Chrono Boost? It's currently piling up.
Yeah, it is.
And we may see that go into the Cybercore.
Just for a straight up 4-gate?
I think he could do something like that, man. Let's have a look.
Oh, dear.
He's saving it for something, though, isn't he? He's not throwing it into the Nexus. What is it for?
Is it going to happen?
Okay, Stalker. Mothership Core?
That would be nice. That would be nice. Stalker Zealot Mothership Core poke is really strong.
So this can actually work rather well. I mean, there's a couple of chances here that he, for example, runs past the bunker.
Yeah.
With the Zealot Stalker. Right now, MMA goes into the base. It's like, oh, you're trying to push the Nexus for the Mothership Core. You're a Stalker out already. That's like earlier than 420 at this point. That's a little bit faster. That bunker's obviously very important here. Oh, the Twilight Council.
Oh,
MC, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me, MC. Don't do it to me, MC.
All right, it's happening. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry, it's happening.
All right, so he's Chrono Boosted out the Stalker and Zealot Mothership Core. He's going to put a bit of pressure on the front door. Mothership Core can go into the main base, and it's going to freak MMA out a little bit. But the Twilight Council's down.
Do you know what I love about all of this, though? It's that MMA won some straight-up macro games, and MC says, I'm not going into that anymore. I'm not doing that.
It's going to be Blink.
No.
I know it is. It's going to be Blink.
It is.
It's going to be Blink.
Oh, the SCV, though.
Oh,
there's no units there.
All right. So...
Oh, dear. There's Blink.
Blink's on its way. The SUV is going to go across the map, and it may get scanning information. This Stalker
needs to deny it. Absolutely.
He's going to stop it. Oh, no.
Oh, what is happening to us? Oh, my God.
MC allows an SUV to scout the lack of Nexus again. He's going to go in there, and MMA now has seen the lack of Nexus. He's going to go in the main base, and he's going to see the gateways. He's going to see the Blink upgrade, and now he knows what he's playing against. He knows he's playing against a Blink Stalker play, but the big question is, knowing is half the information. Can he stop it? MC's got sick execution. He always nails these kind of attacks. Look at the game versus Thorzane.
Yeah. Bunker on the high ground's really important, but he doesn't want to lose the Mothership.
He's lost his unit that gives him high ground vision.
Oh, no.
He has to rebuild it, and now the assault can only take place on the natural. A big blow for MC. I can't believe he's lost it. MC. Oh my God, MMA goes in and sees the Mothership Core being rebuilt because that's the only thing that can allow him to blink up there.
The only way.
That's not just high ground vision that's gone, that's energy that's gone, that's time warps that are gone, and all of a sudden MMA is in a beautiful position. He's got 2 tech labs. Remember, he scouted this very early, and now he's in prime position to be the champion here. He's just got to hold.
He's bought so much time. Blink finishes up for MC, but has no opportunity to blink in just yet. The Mothership Core, it's a kind of a slow unit. It's not going to get over there too quickly. And now MMA, all of his focus, all of his attention is on the natural. The Blink Stalkers, they try and go, but they can't just yet.
And look at that. MMA didn't want to try to go up to Stim here. He decided to choose concussor shells to slow the units down and to try and kill them before they can blink away and stuff. Right now, though, it's still a pressured situation. MMA definitely has an advantage here. I'm sure SCVs will come to fight in due time. But that bunker is in great position. There's 3 SCVs on it. Like, if he blinks up there, it's not going to die immediately. He started Stim. He's got the factory finished. MC, time is running out.
It really is. He's just going to go for it. He needs to take that bunker down, but it's already being repaired.
1 Stalker already dead.
Dying to
2 Stalkers dead.
And he's taking so much damage. The Marauders that he invested into, he had a little bit more gas because he didn't start Stim. Oh, they're so
Look
useful.
at all the Stalkers, they're all half dead. MMA's doing it at this point. He's so close to winning the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. So close. MC came back against Thorzane from a position we didn't think so. More SCVs coming in. Remember, Stim is on its way. Once that's done, the game is over. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Starport's on its way. The Reactor's on its way. Medivacs are on their way. MC needs to do something soon. Otherwise, he's going to lose and will finish in second place again.
He's going to try and find any position he possibly can do. That's what we saw him do against Thorzane in a very, very similar situation. Tries to pick off one unit at the natural there. And it's going to be so hard still. MMA is on complete lockdown. How can you break this?
Well, he's going to try and blink forward, maybe pick off these units, and oh well, he's going to get the bunkers for now. One down.
That's actually really good. They weren't being repaired at all for no, now he comes off and does that, but the time warp, Mothership Core has to stay alive.
Medivacs are on the way.
Oh, Stim is almost
MC
complete.
supply blocked at 58. Pylon building. No more Stalkers for you for now. He is stuck down. This is a very bad position for the boss toss. Very, very bad. Stim is so close. With Stim with Medivacs, there's no way that MMA is going to lose this. And after 18 months, finally, after dry period for 18 months, he scans, he sees nothing on the natural, and that is nothing but a smile. That is nothing but a sense of victory here for MMA.
Nice focus fire once again, trying to kill off that bunker, and it will end up dying, even though the repair roll was going. But MMA now, Stim is seconds away from completion.
It's time for everybody to do the drugs, right, Colaris? Because Stim is ready. The party's about to begin because MMA is so close to victory here. The Medivacs are joining in. And MC, he's dead.
There's nothing he can do.
I don't see how he can do this. There's so many Stalkers. He's going to rely on his Blink Micro, but SCVs can come to play. We're going to see Stim activated very shortly, and he's coming for the victory.
He needs the best Blink Micro he's ever employed in his StarCraft career if he's going to actually break this position. 72 supply to 88. Army supplies, 47 to 48, but Stim and Medivacs are a huge difference in these engagements.
MMA realizes that he can't mess this up. He's not being too aggressive. He's taking it slow. He's getting combat shields. He's adding on another Medivac. He's adding in more units, just anything he can. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for MMA, very simply because his infrastructure is way too strong, and MC's looking for a victory now. He's got a sentry.
He blinks up onto the high ground. He doesn't have any more force fields, though, just that one to try and do the damage that he can.
MMA stimmed, he doesn't know what to do.
Panic mode here for MMA, realizing that he's been a little bit duped. Another force field on the high ground. What is going on? MC, if there's any way you can bring this back, it's this way.
Wow, this is absolutely mind-blowing. If he brings it back from this, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. The SCVs are coming off the line. MMA's got Stim. It looks like MC has to blink out here. What a nice move there from MC. Deals a bit of a blow to MMA, but the game goes on for now. MC, another sentry, looking for a way back into this game. He knows he's in such a bad position. The units hug the ramp. They know they don't want that to happen again.
Constant chrono boost on the gateways. Army supplies 56 to 52 in favor of MMA. And yeah, just stay on the ramp. But if he does that, dividing and conquering might hurt him.
There's a lot of Medivacs, Colaris.
There is a lot
of Medivacs. That's a lot of units that MMA has.
I love the addition of a missile turret just in case.
Both players are stressing out so much. You can just tell by both of them always supply blocked. 110 here. Force field on that side this time. Two bunkers are a little bit better than none on the other side. One Medivac has a couple of units.
It's not so easy to pick up and just evacuate to that location, though, because of... If you do, he blinks under a Medivac and kills it.
He's going to go for it now, maybe. I think MMA might go for this. He's got to be careful of the blink inside the main base, but if he gets the Mothership Core, there's no vision up there.
No, there isn't.
And MC just wearing his opponent down time after time after time. Mules keep landing, though. +1 attack now been started. And even though a lot of people are like, all right, this game's over, MC's finding a way.
Dividing and conquering, killing off a few of these units on the high ground, negating some of that damage. He did kill off one of those sentries on the low ground, but the bunker ends up falling. There's SCVs here that are vulnerable. He's lost a lot of Stalkers during this, though. And he lets them up. He has to evacuate.
Just blinks away with a couple of those right at the end. 50 army supply to 59. It's so close at this point. More bunkers from MMA. Force field's not going to work this time.
He's keeping an eye on it. A little bit of a volley there, doesn't really do much, just scratches.
Just throwing down so many bunkers, stuck at 110 supply for so long in this game. He just has no time to build supply. He doesn't have time when the game's like this. MC's trying to stay in this tournament, trying to keep his dreams alive of winning this.
He just double supply drop behind this to try and free some of that up with the time warp, as well as trying to deal with all of this bio. Stalkers, how well can they do? Blinking back. Can he be cost effective enough to deal with this? MMA's army supply is taking an advantage here.
The Mothership Core's gone. It's all the focus now is on the low ground. When that force field's gone on the ramp, all the units will go down, and he could just stim straight out there because there's no counterattack possible now.
There's nothing. There is nothing left here. here for MC. Only Blink Micro
This is
left.
it.
And MC is forced to evacuate. MMA is on the charge.
He's doing it. He's about to win.
He's killing off all of the stalkers. MC, he's given up hope. He's given it
MMA's
up.
done it.
GG! Ladies and gentlemen, MMA, he is back. He is your Season 3 World Championship Series Europe champion.
And look how happy he is. It's been 18 months since his last tournament victory at Iron Squid. And the time for MMA to rise is back. He has won the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. Season 3, MC finishes in second place for 2 seasons in a row. But MMA finally, after a lot of hard work, Colaris, everybody that is a fan of MMA knows he's been working his socks off for this result. And he has finally achieved what he wanted so much.
MC drew it out to the very last breath, and we've seen him do so well like that before, but it just wasn't enough to break the champion that is MMA. What great decision making by him, what great decision making by MC in the last game, but it just wasn't enough.
And guys, let's not delay this any longer. The winner's interview is ready. Please, let's have some words from the winner himself.
Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, MMA is your WCS Season 3 European champion. Congratulations. Toppling MC in a very exciting match, concluding in that last game. It felt like once you scouted Blink, it was like, okay, it's time to win. But then MC started to kind of make it a little bit interesting. Was there any point in that game that you were worried about losing and tying it up?
점수를 보는 순간 다른 사람들이 본 사람들도 다 이긴 줄 알았었는데 나중에 엄청 힘들게 막았는데 어떻게 됐었는지.
원래 MC 선수 좀 그런 점추가 알고도 좀 맞기 힘든 컨트롤 워낙 잘해서 맞기 힘들어요. 그래서 좀 저도 어떻게 이겼는지 모르겠어요.
MC is a really good player, and even if you scout the Blink Stalkers, he can still out-micro you. So it was really hard, but to be honest, I don't remember what I did in this game.
Very good. So going beyond this, I mean, you put forward a very dominating performance. You dropped 2 games to MC, but before that, you made Zerk look very silly. Going into the Season 3 finals in Toronto, what is the expectation you put on yourself for that tournament? What would be a success there? Are you going to, I mean, that's just what it is, I guess.
시즌 파이널에 가게 됐는데 거기에서 예상하는 성적은 어떤지, 기분이 어떤지.
일단 4강 이상 목표로 잡고 있고요. 워낙 쟁쟁한 선수들이 많이 와서 좀 준비를 단단히 해야 될 것 같아요.
I have to practice a lot because there will be a lot of good players, and I'm expecting at least top 4.
Very good. Okay, so I have 2 more questions for you. Yes? The first one is I asked you this earlier in the tournament, and now I'm going to ask you again. Is Terran underpowered?
저번 인터뷰에서도 물어봤었는데 테란이 너무 약한지.
저번에도 말했듯이 잘하는 사람이 이기는 게임이라고 생각합니다.
I answered last time like the same. I think the best player wins. That's all.
Okay, very good. I'm going to fish for it. Okay. The last question, of course, is you've been with Team Acer. Acer's had a lot of success recently, and I know that you've got several managers here. You've got teammates here. Do you have any words for your fans or for your team that you'd like to share at this moment?
에이서한테 말할 게 있는지 하고 팬들한테 특히 말할 게 있는지.
당연히 말할 게 있고요. 우리 지금 독일의 베네톨츠에서 응원하고 있는 우리 우베 우리 사장님이랑 그리고 제가 블리즈컨을 갈지 안 갈지 저도 모르고 팬들조차 잘 모르는 상태에서 응원을 굉장히 열심히 많이 해주셨어요. 그래서 저도 팬들 믿고 제 자신 믿고 저희 가족들 믿고 열심히 했는데 이렇게 좋은 성적 거둬서 너무너무 좋고 블리즈컨에서도 좋은 성적 거두고 싶어요.
First of all, I really want to thank Uwe, my boss at Acer, and of course all my fans. They've been rooting for me since the beginning of this tournament that I could go to BlizzCon, and yeah, thanks to all.
그리고 그 결승 준비할 때 토스전 마지막에 할 때 크랭크 선수가 많이 도와줬거든요. 그래서 도움이 굉장히 많이 됐어요.
And I want to add that I really want to thank Crank, Axiom Crank, because he helped me a lot before this match to practice against Protoss.
Very cool. All right, thank you, MMA. Your champion, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to see more of him in just a few moments. But first, let's throw it over to the analyst desk with the other commentators and the hosts.
Whew, season 3 is finally over, and I'm joined by my bodyguards. Guys, what an awesome season that we've had.
Yes, it was.
It's been remarkable. It's the last season that we'll be covering this year for the Europe Premier League. I've had a lot of fun. I think you've had a lot of fun. You've played in it, you've commentated in it, you've done the analysis, you've obviously been doing hosting, casting, everything. What a season 3.
It's so great to be a part of the WCS, whether it is as a player or a caster or as a fan. I'm a fan too. Loved watching these games. What a fantastic day. MC, MMA.
Speechless Clarice hasn't got a mic yet, but we'll get to him soon.
I'll give it to you soon. I mean, this was a really great finals. MC might be the world's best at one-base all-ins. What do you think?
He's pretty good at it. He certainly knows how to draw it out and make a big meal out of it. And, you know, again, we said before, I don't think anybody could have made that as close as it was other than MC.
From such a horrible position.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Remarkable play. But let's take a look at the top 16 players that actually made it to play live in Cologne, in Germany, just to remind ourselves of the story and path that we had to the grand finals right now. Starting off with Group A, B, C, D, we can see their Targa, Stardust making their way through. Vortex had a great tournament this season. MC to another second place. Genius really shining this season. Nurcho so close but so far. And then of course MMA, the current champion, and Duck Duck, our previous one.
Yeah, I mean MMA, we kind of predicted it after we saw him play in one of the hardest groups, Group D, last week. We said MMA.
Yeah, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean he is so great at every matchup, and he works so hard for it. Wants to go to BlizzCon so much. It's just really good to see a guy like that play so well and just take it here. And it's been so long for him. Like, what is it, 2 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I've spoke to him a lot, and all he mentions is BlizzCon. That's all he wants to do, is just to hear the crowd cheer his name one more time. That was the round of 16 that we had last week. And then, of course, yesterday, we came into this tournament with 8 players. 8 players that where, to be honest, anybody could have won. There was obviously favorites here and there, but if we look at the 8 players, it really was close. There was some fantastic personality, some fantastic players, and here's basically the overall bracket that we had.
I think from day one, we had a lot of clean sweeps, a lot of very one-sided games, but they were still extremely entertaining games, right? I look back on a lot of those series very fondly. The Targa MC series, and just the way in which MC had prepared for that series, for example. Really cool games.
And of course, you can see the top 4 players there. MMA, Vortex, MC, Ingenious will be joined by Duck Duck, who won the placement matches this morning, or should I say early this afternoon. So we have our 5 players that will represent Europe at the Season 3 finals. I'll have a question to each one of you as we do get ready for the prize ceremony. These 5 players, there's some very talented individuals. Do you think that these 5 players can represent Europe well and do extraordinarily well at the Season 3 finals coming in Canada in a few weeks' time?
I sure hope so, and I do think that they can.
I think that especially MMA has a really good shot of doing very well. Yep.
So let's now just, before we do go over to it's almost ready. It's almost ready. MMA. Let's talk about MMA for a quick second here. Just won this tournament, 18 months since his last tournament, 2 years since being at BlizzCon, wants to do well. Can he do well at that BlizzCon? Can he compete in the top 16? He's almost set to go now, pretty much set to go. With the first place, he's thrown himself in pretty deep into the top 16. Will get a lot of points from the Season 3 finals. Can he really go back to where it all begun?
It looks like he is the full package right now. MC has the most impressive pedigree of all the players, won so many tournaments. Vortex can take series off of anyone. Duck Duck has shown the same thing with a particular specialty in PvP. Genius can take out anyone with some special strategies as well. But it's really only specifically MMA, which is why it's so fitting we find him here with the gold medal, that is good at every matchup and that can combine aggression and defenses and good decisions and just very few mistakes in his play, which is why I agree with Kalaris, and maybe you agree too, is that MMA does have a very good chance to be the proudest WCS Europe representative at the season finals and BlizzCon.
I think at BlizzCon, though, we have to think also about the players that are actually going to be there from the other regions. Like, of course, there's going to be a lot of strong players there. And for me, for one, I would really look forward to seeing an MMA versus one of the WCS Korean Zergs. That would be a cool game.
MMA Jaedong?
Ooh, it's a good game, right? So, right before we go over, in your Warcraft 3 career, did you ever have an 18-month period where you didn't win from one to another?
I had 1 year in 2007 where I didn't win a big tournament, and every other year I played in Warcraft 3 I did. And that, it can get pretty rough mentally. I would say I was in a very rough place mentally. And there were some reasons underlying all that, but it can get really rough. And then when you suddenly win one, as I did at WCG 2008, the explosion of emotion is incredible, and you ride that wave for weeks. It's an amazing feeling.
All right, well, that's what MMA hopefully should be going through right now. And well, guys, I think we're almost ready for the winner's ceremony. So I'm going to hand it over to In Control to carry away with the rest of the show.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. And this is the part of the show where we want to honor those that we're going to send off to Toronto, the top 5 players that did really, really well here. So 3rd through 5th, we have Genius, Duck Duck, and Vortex. Please give it up for them. Those guys will be going off to Toronto, so we'll see more of them in WCS this season. Now, let us honor our 2nd place finisher. It is none other than MC. And please put your hands together for our Season 3 champion. It is MMA. MMA, everybody. And from everybody here at Blizzard and ESL TV, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been an awesome show. This has been an amazing WCS season. If you did submit some art, we picked some winners, so check your online accounts. Thank you, everybody. We're out. Good night, and have a great rest of your lives.